Hey everybody, welcome to Digital Wonder. In this episode, we will be looking at the omega male, how you can identify an omega male, and how to tell if you might be one. Are you a loner? Do you feel you have never fit in? Are you sometimes considered as odd? Well, maybe you're an omega male. Who is an omega male? The omega male can be seen to be the complete opposite of the alpha male. He is the solo rider type of guy. He does not care much about the opinions of others and has no desire to impress anyone. He does not need to fit into a group, and even if he did, he typically does not fit in well. Make sure to watch until number 10 because it's one of the most telling traits of an omega male I've ever seen. Number 1, he goes against the status quo. The first trait about the omega male is the fact that he goes against the grain. He is never one to do what everybody else is doing. Chances are that he will be doing the exact opposite of what everyone else is. Sometimes without even being deliberate about it. He is definitely not one to go with trends or even know what current trends are. He can be out of touch with the realities outside of his own. So when it comes to popular music, hangout spots, or trending clothing, the omega is not the least bit interested. He tends to be very stubborn and sticks with his way of doing things, despite what those around him have to say about it. This trait of the omega male causes him to be in conflict with others who are wanting him to follow them or to follow any one particular popular decision. Number 2, he is seen as the odd one. Secondly, the omega male is most times seen as the odd one out. He is not as competitive as most people and is not motivated to enter the rat race of life. He easily becomes the odd one out of a group of stereotypical alpha and beta males. Omegas are very laid back and easygoing, and while the rest of the world is fussing about all they have to get done or goals they have to accomplish, the omega is simply not concerned with any of it. You will never see him racing to work overtime or burning the midnight oil to study for an upcoming exam or test. His nonchalance in life can often cause him to be misunderstood. Number 3. He is more knowledgeable than he seems. Many people would see the omega male as being dull or ignorant because of the way that he approaches life. However, an omega male is quite knowledgeable and understands how the world works. He has a happy-go-lucky attitude and excels at finding the slightest thing to make himself happy. Though he may be thought of as being somebody who is not able to fend for themselves, he is quite capable of handling his affairs well. Now, don't get confused. He will never opt to be a leader in any situation, but he can hold his own. Some people may see him as an omega male and underestimate his capabilities to live a fully functioning life. Other men may go as far as trying to make fun of or embarrassing him, not realizing that intellectually, he is more advanced than they are. They may even laugh if someone looks to him to do a stereotypical manly task and be left in awe when he not only completes it, but completes it well. Number 4, he tells it as it is. Let's face it, offering flattering comments is not a strong suit for an omega male. In fact, they are pretty bad at it. This is because omega males are known to just say what they think and not be concerned if their audience is offended. For example, if an omega sees someone in an outfit that they do not like, or see them doing a task incorrectly, without thinking, they make a comment stating their dislike or disagreement with what is happening. There is no premeditated decision to be malicious. It is simply how the brain of an omega male works. Even though this is who he is, and he means no offense by his actions, it still makes it difficult for him to impress others or fit into certain social or professional circles. This trait also causes him to be in conflict and having to explain his intentions to avoid further conflicts. Number 5. You often play devil's advocate. Omega males find themselves in the position to defend the bad guy. Because he's used to attracting harsh treatment, he finds it easier to defend these persons. Let's imagine a scenario where a guy goes into a bar and is rude to the hostess. While most people would be coming down at this guy for being mean, an Omega male would try to defend him, making a case that he possibly had a bad day, or that the hostess gave him an attitude and his reaction was a response to that. As if he needed another reason, this trait also puts him as the odd one out in social settings. This stance may also see him being in several disagreements with loved ones, as they can never understand why he would choose to be on the side that he often finds himself. Number 6. To him, growing up isn't a necessity. The 6th trait to take note of is that most, if not all, Omega males have a hard time growing out of their childhood habits. While he is a loved guy because he can be good and fun to be around, he also has the capability to become annoying to some because of his sporadic, immature actions. He is often described as a child at heart because of his boyish desires, actions, and even the way he dresses. By looking at him or observing him in his place of comfort, he can easily pass for a child somehow stuck in an adult body. Number 7. He is the honest, sweet guy. This is definitely one of his winning traits. The fact that he can be a really sweet guy is one of the reasons people like to have him around. His sweet guy nature, coupled with his desire to always be helpful, work in tandem with each other. People can always depend on him to be honest. And if his honesty is harsh, then it comes from a place of love, care, and thoughtfulness. Number 8. He's not a relationship chaser. As an Omega male, he is definitely not going out of his way to attract a spouse. He is never in competition with the next person to win over someone's attention, especially in an intimate way. He is very comfortable in his own company. He believes that a love interest will come into his life without having to chase them. He takes things extremely slow and goes about relationships in his own way, at his own pace. However, when he finds someone who he is attracted to, he invests his whole heart into the relationship. Once in a long-term relationship, he has the tendency to be a loyal partner. Number 9. He's not much of a career guy. Another trait that we can check off the list is the fact that as an Omega, he is not much of a career guy. He does not typically stay in any job for too long. Many times, it typically isn't his choice, it just ends up that way. Omega males tend to be unsuccessful as career men, not because they are incapable of excellence, but because they lack the competitive drive that is needed to be successful in many professions. Though Omegas are not competitive, they tend to be skillful and talented. As a result, Omegas tend to support themselves by doing different jobs. So an Omega would be very knowledgeable and skillful in areas such as IT or programming. Number 10, he is fond of unconventional hobbies. Do you think you do weird things with your free time? Well, that could be another example that you have a trait of an Omega male. It's easy to look at the activities that an Omega male does for fun or in his spare time and think it to be quite odd. He is often accused of wasting time with what others consider to be useless activities. In many cases, this activity is tedious or time-consuming, which is why others are so confused by it. Examples of hobbies an Omega male might enjoy are video gaming and painting model figures. The thoughts of others do not affect an Omega male. He is content with less productive activities as long as they give him pleasure. As long as he is pleased and entertained, then all is well in the world. Well, in his world at least. So to wrap it up, Omegas can be thought of as extremely nonchalant, sweet guys. He tends not to stress over much, if anything at all. As a result, his peers and loved ones will dub him as being odd because they do not understand how he can remain so chilled when there are things that warrant his concern. An Omega male's personality may cause him issues in his work and love life, but he is happy with what comes his way in life, and he is usually content with the way he chooses to live his life. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Be sure to also check out this playlist of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.